Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so blessed to be back. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the red button right now. Hit it. What are you waiting for? Hit the red button now. Hit the red button, please. So yes, I feel like once the borders open, there'll be an influx of people into Ghana. I have a feeling. I feel like this is the place. Ghana, Africa will be open its borders, open its heart, will open up its doors for our brothers and sisters in the world to come experience us. I definitely have that feeling. I don't know, Corona might prove me wrong, but I have a feeling that might be, the place in the next decade. I have a feeling. But anyways, let's put aside my feelings and let's go to schools. So, talking about schools in Ghana, there are two types of schools here. There are the public schools and then they have the private schools. So the public schools, like everywhere else, is owned by the government and it's free. So if you're moving to Ghana with your children, you don't have to pay for tuition if your children want to go to the public school, if you want your kids to go to the public school system. Okay, so the public school system is predominantly British. It is a British system because, as you know, Ghana was colonized by the Brits. Okay, so then they ended up with the British system for school. I am also a product of the British system, so I really think this is a good system. As you know, I'm from Cameroon, specifically from not British, but the English-speaking part of Cameroon. So I went through that British system, and I think it's great. There's some things about the British system that will stay with your children forever, ever and ever. Okay? Those of you who've gone through the British system know. No joke. It will stay with you forever. So they have the British system, and most of the schools, in the public system, the children have to wear uniforms, which I think is very good. But another thing to consider is that most of the girls have to cut their hair to keep it manageable, and that's across the board in Africa. Most public systems, especially the Anglophone public systems, they require the girls to cut their hair. Keep it short. It's only hair, it will grow back. Okay. Now let's jump to the private system. Oh, one thing. So in the British system, it's like, you have the primary school, secondary school, and high school. It's the same thing as elementary, middle school, and high school in the American system. So this one is just different. So primary school is like elementary school, secondary school is like middle school, and then high school is high school, and after that you have university, okay, which is also called college in America. So jumping to the private system, that's the one that I really know very well, because when I came, we went and visited about 15 different schools. So the private schools can be very affordable and also very expensive. When it goes to the when you start going towards the international schools, the prices will triple or quadruple. Very expensive. And then there's some in-between ones, that are average, and then there are cheaper private schools that are owned by Ghanaians as well. So let's start with the international school in Goudan, because that's what I really have experience with. So the international schools, most of them will follow the British system, okay? And then you also have the American system, and then you have the French system, and I've also seen a German system. I've seen German schools. So there is a plethora of schools here in Accra. Okay. Now I wasn't talking about Accra. There are other towns and other cities in Ghana. So I'm focusing on Accra because that's what I know. If I say anything that's not correct, please let me know, because I'm only focusing on Accra and the schools in Accra. Everywhere else outside of Accra, I do not know. So please, I'm not generalizing this as Ghana. I'm just saying what I know in Accra. Okay. So the British schools I find are moderately expensive. Okay. The American schools are very expensive. The French schools are a little bit less expensive. So the American, so when you start from cheap to expensive, I won't say cheap, I would say affordable to more affordable to less affordable. Okay, the least affordable ones are the American schools. Very, very, very expensive. We even had American school that cost $40,000 a year for one child, and that blew my mind. Okay, and the school was packed full. Okay, so people have money, guys. People have money. And then we had the British system, which I found very affordable and very good. A lot of the British schools are owned by Kenyans, and they have done very well, guys. They've done so well. Those kids, well brought up, very respectful. Okay, they have instilled the African culture while teaching these kids how to live in these times. So these kids are very well spoken, but talking about the Ghanaian owned schools, very well spoken, okay, very respectful, all right, and they are directing them towards a path that I think would lead to success. So I say kudos to those who are, doing all of these curriculums and putting all the things that they feel like the kids would need to succeed, in the world today. It's great. I went there, my jaw dropped. The American schools are very good. Very small classes. They have maybe one teacher to six or seven children. You can't beat that. Those kids get one-to-one, lessons, sometimes attention a lot. If your child is, falling behind on a particular subject, they have time to spend with those children or with your child to teach them what they need to know. Okay. The French schools are great because if your child speaks English and you want them to learn French, put them in the French school. I guarantee you within 8 months, your child is speaking fluent French. So there are so many options here. But I want to focus on the Ghanaian owned schools. I have to talk about those because these schools have done well. They're not expensive, they're pretty affordable, and they invest in their teachers. The teachers are well educated, and this will educate the kids very well. The teachers, are teaching those kids amazing things, and I can't even tell you how much I admire their system. Excellent. And the British system, the British schools are pretty affordable as well. I feel like they are cheaper than the French schools. And then you have the Ghanaian private schools, which I think that the schools that are owned by Ghanaians are actually the best, in my opinion. This is just me. I think that they are the best because they bring in the culture, they keep that, and they keep the discipline, and they make sure that the kids are respectful. They instill the African culture in the curriculum as well. Most of the kids are very bright. They speak up, and but they're also very respectful. So I have found that mix of having international school owned or private school owned by a Ghanaian is the best that you can get because it's not expensive. It's probably like $2,000, $3,000 a year, and that's far cheaper than $40,000 a year. And yeah, so I I'm very, I'm very excited because I think my kids are learning well here. I mean, education in most countries are great, but here I'm like, go Ghana, because we have seen our kids thrive in this environment. There's some things that, parents worry about in America, in England, you don't have to worry about here.